Okay, looks like we're up and running here. We got the green light, we got the green bar, we got the green light over here. Hello, everybody. My name is Bezad.
My name is Teresa.
And we are here from Naked and Famous Denim, broadcasting live from the international space headquarters of Naked and Famous Denim, right here in Yokohama, Japan, Earth Prime.
International Space Headquarters.
Yeah, that's true. We're in charge of the aerospace division of Naked and Famous Denim, in addition to the international division and interplanetary and interdimensional divisions of Naked and Famous Denim. So in all potential timelines and physical locations, this is right here the base for all the things that are happening. And you've tuned in to the right place because you're going to get all the denim and space knowledge you could ever want. That's it. So, welcome everyone. We've got a fun-filled live stream in store for you today. We've got a couple of previews. We're going to answer your questions live, and we're going to talk about some of the new things going on, Tate Yoko, like our new programming that we have, that we're continuing with. It's been quite popular. So let's check in with the chat, just to start, until the room populates, see where everybody is tuning in from. And before we get into that, hit that like button, everybody. Let's start off the live stream with a like/love fest, and just gently tap that like button. Let's get those likes up. Okay.
Somebody's calling out for a snowy alert.
Look at that. Snowy it's been a while since Snowy made a grand appearance in a video, but looks like he's in on it. We'll see. We'll see if he makes some jumps on the table today. Hit the like button if you want to see Snowy jump on the table.
Because he cares about that.
He definitely cares about that. All right, let's check in with the chat. Let's see. We got a lot of familiar faces as usual. Johnny Crumholm, great to see you. BD, the producer, is in the house. Hello, Milo, Pajama Music, hello, Chris Karras, what is up? Chris Griffin, I've been away for a couple of weeks. I've been visiting Parts Unknown, home of the Ultimate Warrior. This is true. I'm still switching between my Kasuris and my groovy guy left hand twirls. Parts Unknown, I love that. I love telling people that. Did you know that on the WWE website, I don't know if it's currently, but if you typed in like a URL that didn't work, it would say that you've reached Parts Unknown, and then you'd have like a picture of the Ultimate Warrior and Papa Shango.
I don't know who that is.
It's okay. Papa Shango also later on played the character, the Godfather, who was a pimp. He had a hoe train. I don't know if you can do that anymore on TV.
I mean, I'm sure you can, but not on WWE, maybe. Such a children's family.
Yeah, I guess so.
show.
Yeah, the hoe train. That was impressive. It was just if you're born within the last 25 years, you might not know about the hoe train and the Godfather, but look them up. Entertaining stuff. Great stuff. All right, back to the chat. James Keating, space jeans when? Now. All of our jeans are approved for space travel.
By us?
Yeah,
Or
I've
by
approved
authority?
them. Yeah,
Okay.
by the authority given to me, bestowed upon me by Mother Nature herself. I've dubbed our jeans all
Like,
space
Edison
approved.
X was kind of a little spacey.
Yeah, space gray.
Yeah.
Had a space gray weft interior. Arif Javon, good to see you. Space Selvedge. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think you can wear our jeans in space. I mean, you can wear a t-shirt in space. There's nothing special about like the jumpsuits that they
I
wear.
don't think so. You
Yeah.
can't go out of the spaceship.
Yeah. You can't go outside the spaceship with them. But if you stay within the confines, keep your hands and legs inside the vehicle at all times, you'll be fine.
I would think so.
Yeah. You know what? If someone's got a ticket on that Virgin Galactic or SpaceX, space exploration thing. If you just go up in there and you're in anti-gravity, you want to wear our jeans, I will gift you a pair of jeans.
Yes,
Yeah.
if somebody's going outer space and that person is the first one to ever, was going to be the first one to ever wear jeans, our jeans
in space.
in space.
Yeah. I will gift you a
Yeah,
jean. I
that
don't
would
gift
be
a
a
lot of
freebie.
jeans, but I will gift those jeans.
Yeah, but if you can afford a space trip, I'm sure you don't really care about that so much.
That's true. But if you're really in for the free jeans, then yeah, put out. I think how much does it cost for a ticket to space? Like $500,000 bucks.
$1,000
Yeah.
or something.
So weigh it out, see if it's worth it to you. But yeah, if you are going to space anytime soon,
Let us know.
we'll sponsor that trip with a pair of jeans. So let us know.
Yeah, I wonder when it's going to be when the first...
Naked Famous Denim pair is up in space.
Yeah.
Will it be in our life? Will we be space travelers before we are travelers? At least, rocket shipped up into the atmosphere.
Like a few minutes.
Yeah, in
and
our
then
lifetime.
come back up. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
We'll find out. You guys gotta stick around to the live stream every week until we find out. Might be a few decades, but still.
Well, if you're close to space traveling, let us know.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want to talk to you.
Yeah. Okay. BD writes, they could probably wear the blanket-lined jeans in space. Yeah, I think so. What would be the best pair for space? You know what? I just a classic pair of dark indigos need to go up there. That's for sure.
I think maybe something with a stretch would help because you just, you need to do a lot of movements that you don't necessarily do on Earth when there's no gravity.
And would a slimmer fitting pair be more beneficial than a looser pair because of the zero gravity?
I wonder.
Right? Is it the
Yeah, it protects like things flying into your pants.
Yeah,
maybe.
but your pants might become unwieldy. Like, they're just draping around in space all
Yeah, I would
unkempt.
imagine drapey clothes is not going to help in space.
Right. It might just get caught on things.
Yeah.
Well, there's certainly some things to consider before as we design this pair of space jeans. All right, we'll keep you posted. I like it. All right, back to the chat. Melody Murray, hello from Tucson, wearing my Easy Guy Blues J Selvedge for the first time. Triple-digit heat and 45% humidity today. Love this lightweight denim. Absolutely. We are feeling the same as you. It is mega hot and mega humid here in Japan. Is it the most humid time of year? I don't know. I try to avoid going outside. And
I mean, there's like a bunch of like storms in the air, so I think it is pretty humid.
typhoon season over
Yeah.
here. I opened the window this morning and I got smacked in the face by humidity. I'm like, nope, that closes right back up. Put the blinds back.
Yeah, humidity and heat.
It's no
the
good.
combination.
It's a lot. So the key is looser, lighter weight. Though I am wearing the dirty fade Selvedge, but I'm wearing it in the True Guy, and I'm wearing it a little oversized. So I have a lot of airflow. Right, airflow is what you want on Earth when it's hot. Maybe a slimmer fitting jean, less flowy, is what you want in space, where there's
you
no
don't
gravity.
And in space you don't really have to worry about the temperature being uncomfortable. You're really gonna be in a temperature controlled
Environment. And if you're
Otherwise,
not, you're dead because you'll be flying off into
Yes.
some other universe. But if you are flying off, you definitely want maybe the reflective denim so that people can spot you in case they try to attempt a space rescue, which I wouldn't recommend because those always just end up in disaster, as we've seen in most space movies.
Also, you shouldn't just be wearing jeans and floating around in space.
It's not a good idea.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea.
'Cause I think that's
Yeah.
death also.
Yeah. Well, we'll touch base with the space scientists and we'll figure this all out for you guys. You can count on us. Chris Karras writes, I'm visiting NYC. I'm just presuming you're visiting Naked Famous. I'm visiting NYC on Monday, hoping to grab a pair of the True Guys. What should I get? It's the Empire State Selvedge True Guy. That's what you want. You want to get the Empire State Selvedge True Guy. It is exclusive. It is exclusively available at Naked Famous Denim NYC. Don't go home without it. James and Kidding, I was home in California for the past 3 months. Didn't pack any of my Naked Famous jeans with me. Finally rocked my trunks now that I'm back in OKC. And let me tell you, it was way too hot. Mid-90s. Yeah, it's... yeah. If you have to have the right pair of jeans to be able to manage the heat, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's hot out there. Anyways, it is hot out there. It is cooling down in the Northeast. I know that for sure. Montreal guys, they're letting us know. So I look at the temperatures and I'm a little envious sometimes, just because it's just hard to beat it out here.
Here, I think
it'll be like October until we get some cooler weather.
We have a long. But once it's like not so. Once it starts to come down in October, it's gonna be nice for a while.
Yeah.
We would have to go into winter right away.
Winter comes a little bit later, but yeah, the fall here in Japan is quite pleasant and it lasts a long time, which I like. Yeah, summer is brutal. It's very hot.
It seems that everybody had a pretty brutal summer, and you know what? Like I was just looking at some color things, and it's like even though it's still really really hot here and it's gonna be hot here for another while, like my mind is already like fall colors,
my brain is starting to switch over into like fall wardrobing, and like I put on some sweatshirts the other day just because I'm like I just kind of feel fall is in the air, and I'm like, this is a little warm right now, it's a little much right now. That said, like I'm going into the stores, I'm seeing Halloween stuff, pumpkin spice stuff. I was in Target in Chicago was it a week ago? Week and a half ago?
A week ago, yeah.
So I'm like, it's there, it's coming, right? And yeah, it's already August. In Japan, it's the 19th, where you guys are watching. Maybe if you're watching North America, it's the 18th right now. September is here. Right? September is here. So the summer's almost gone. Soon it'll be Halloween, then it'll be Christmas, and then we got nothing to look forward to.
The darkness.
Yeah. But we'll be here, keeping it real with you guys throughout the season. Ori, going out to dinner, throwing on my Dragon Ball Z Naked Famous. Good man. Which style do you have? Which Dragon Ball Z character do you have? Lonely Space Vixen, I live in space. I like the reflective denim. Well, there you go. Spoken from a real life space person. Space Vixen, in fact. The glow in the dark is also good for those long nights. My planet has nights 3 times longer than Earth. Well, there you go. That's some planet you're on there. I hope you're staying
if the nights
cool.
are 3 times longer,
staying warm.
Is the day 3 times longer too?
I don't know.
It's just it takes 3 times longer to go around the sun?
No. The day it's how long it takes for the planet to rotate.
Right.
Yeah, because it takes a year to go around the sun, depending on what a year is on a different planet. And it's also presuming that I'm not even going to go into that. I was about to go somewhere just as a joke, but I'm not even going to do it because I don't want anyone to think I'm that crazy. All right, James and Keating at BD. The jeans are safe. Terrible news though. I hope we can get those fires under control. All right, what are we talking about here?
Maybe the fire.
BD at James, and I think they are pretty far away. Lots in the north and west. Montreal is far east. Don't think they have fires nearby. All right, I'm going in backwards order here. There's definitely a lot of wildfires going on in Canada. James King, it's not so great with Canada's geography. Is Tate Yoko anywhere near those crazy wildfires that are happening up there? I heard that they had to evacuate whole cities. Okay. No, Tate Yoko's in Montreal. We're not close to any of the wildfire action. Canada is a ginormous place, and wildfires are part of the summer. Though I know that the ones that were happening this year were particularly nasty because a lot of that smoke was going down to the United States and made for some very, very dramatic photography. But I think that those ones are kind of under control now. It seems that there are ones way, way, way up north that are of some concern. Yeah, and like when they talk about like evacuating cities, I mean they're smaller communities. I mean that's not to say that it's not a thing, but you know it's not like they're evacuating Toronto. You know that's they're rural communities that are mostly affected by this because they live out where a lot of the trees and the brush are. But that said, yeah, a lot of that going on. Maui, that was very tragic as well. We were literally there a few months ago, right where all that action took place. Yeah. Very, very sad.
It's very surreal.
Yeah. Like I'm watching video of it, I'm like, we were right there. Like,
yeah. And you kind of like, because you're not there, you feel like you don't feel like that. But like after a few days, I realized like, oh my God, there's like half the people there are probably just tourists who get, get
caught up in it. Yeah. BG writes, friends of mine out in BC are on the standby to evacuate if need be. Be safe, pants pals. Be safe, pants pals. This is the lesson. This is the message. Mm-hmm. Right. Hopefully we get some rain out there, and that might help with the situation. I don't know how these things. I don't know how they fight these fires.
Yeah,
they're so huge, and I see these water bombers going by. I'm like, that doesn't seem like enough water.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. Like it's like out of my like a knowledge that I can imagine what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
it just seems crazy.
Yeah. In some way, I feel like they're just trying to mitigate it so like it doesn't spread as much, and then they just hope that it burns itself out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When they put up wildfires, is it mostly just naturally just dies, or is it like
I would imagine most wildfires probably naturally die because the world's a big place, and I'm sure there are just wildfires happening where we have no idea that they're happening.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know. I know about jeans. If you know about wildfires and you want to share your knowledge and wisdom with us, we're happy to learn. MC Dizzle, there are fires in Yellowknife and Kelowna, BC that are having people evacuated right now. Right. Okay. This went on a weird tangent. Space, wildfires, it's all over the place. This is what you can expect from the Naked Famous Denim live stream, folks. We have
talk about the extreme things.
Yeah, that's it. Lee Shakestyle, speaking of natural disasters, have you guys experienced any bad earthquakes in Japan?
Not a bad one since we moved here.
Yeah, nothing like that destroyed our property.
Right. There's like a couple that was scary.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll wake up in the middle of the night and it's noisy and things are shaking, and there's nothing you can do about it except riding that out and just hoping that all of the stuff that we have, on shelves unsecured, don't smash.
It's like when the earthquake starts, you're just like waiting for to see how big this gets or how fast it goes away, and it's just like, this is such a waste of time. If this actually turns into a big thing, there should be things that I'm doing right now. I should be doing right now.
Right.
But you never know.
At some point, there will be an earthquake on the live stream. It hasn't happened yet, but it will happen. There's no question that it will. Whether it's going to be, it'll probably a small one. You get a small one like maybe once a month or so that you'll feel, but they're frequent enough that most of them aren't really something you think too much
don't
about.
even feel it if you're standing up.
Yeah.
When you're sitting, you might feel it, but it doesn't really affect us.
But yeah, if let's hope the big one's supposed to come. What?
Well, yeah. I mean, 2011 was pretty huge.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. That's only 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So.
So yeah, earthquakes just a part of life here. I remember one time there was a typhoon, and it was raining pretty hard. It was dark. It was stormy. It was loud. And then during the middle of the typhoon, we had an earthquake, and I'm like, wow, they're really just Mother Nature really is just throwing it all at us right now. All we need is a good tornado, and we'll complete the trifecta.
Yeah, tornado we don't get. Like when I was a kid, I used to think tornado was like a fake thing, like like a made up thing, like spaceships.
Okay.
But now I know that tornado's real.
Yeah.
And spaceship exists.
Spaceships do exist. Tornadoes are real, and a volcano eruption, which there's one just down that way, a giant volcano.
Yeah. So it's not active.
Not right now, but one day. All right. Okay, that's enough with the
scary talk.
Disaster talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk about jeans, everybody. Mika, Jordan, looking at getting my first pair of raw denim soon. Probably going to get the Super Guy Japan Heritage Kasuri off Tate and Yoko. Great choice. I would just say that always with raw denim, the first thing that you should consider is your correct size. Now, how do you find your correct size? Let's do a little refresher, everybody, because this is a topic that can never be talked about enough. So I'm just going to head over to the Tate and Yoko website. Let's just pull up the Japan Heritage Kasuri. Okay, just 1 second. Boom. So let's head over to the browser window. So Japan Heritage Kasuri, great deal right now, $217. Although, Mika, if you want to wait until, when's Labor Day?
September 4th?
Something like that.
Or that first weekend?
The Labor Day weekend, I think it's that last week. Let me put it, starting on Wednesday, the 30th of August, we will have a Labor Day weekend sale that'll go into the September long weekend there. Wait for that. These will be, they'll be a little bit less expensive if you prefer to get them now. Go for it, but
and also you're risking that it might sell out.
That's true. So
we're not gonna guarantee anything.
But I'm letting you know that there will be some further markdowns on already marked down items, and then there will be a bunch of new markdowns as well coming soon. But September 4th is Labor Day.
Like when you spell Labor Day in the LABOUR Day, it tells you that it's in May. It's probably in May in
maybe in the Europe or something. Europe. Okay, let's talk about sizing. So the thing that you should always pay attention to when sizing is your measurement guide. So you want to refer to this always. Now, what you should do is you should take a pair of jeans that you own, and you should measure them. You should do the same measurements that we've got covered over here. And we show you in this video, and there's also a blog post, if you scroll down here, hemming and leather, sorry, that's not it, measurement guide. We show you exactly which points you should measure and how to do all the measurements. So follow this precisely when you do your measurements for your jeans, and follow this measurement. So what you want to do is you measure the jeans that you own, and then you compare those measurements to the size chart right here. Now, depending on how those jeans that you own fit you, say they're a perfect fit, then you want to find something that fits equivalently. If you're not sure, say if the jeans that you own right now are a 33-inch waist measurement precisely, it's 100% cotton, there's no stretch in them. Which size should you get? Should you get the 32.5 or should you get the 33?
What did you say the waist measurement of the jeans was?
33.
33 and a half, so size 32, tag size 32.
Tag size 32, get the waist measurement of a 33 and a half. Correct. Do not presume that the jeans that you own, just because the tag size says size 32, that you are a 32-inch waist. You will find that when you measure those jeans, the measurement is actually usually a bit bigger than the tag size. This isn't just for us. This is just the standard practically across the world. So.
And the biggest thing that sometimes people miss is that you have to line up the waist like really exactly front and back, because when you don't do that, then it comes out
a little bit
smaller.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, this is what I need, but it's not. You have to make it as like you basically want to measure the circumference, but because it's harder to do, you are lining them up exactly so that you're measuring half of the circumference.
Yeah.
So
do it just like that.
Yeah.
Make sure that you pull the front and the back of the waistband parallel and pull it taut. Make sure it's pulled tight. So that's what you want to do. Now, the biggest mistake that people make is they believe that their jean size, whatever size they're wearing in jeans, is equivalent to their waist size. So they wear a size 32, so they presume that their waist measurement is a 32. So what happens is they look over here and they say, oh, okay, well, I'm going to buy the size 30 because the waist measurement's a 31 and a half, pretty close to 32, and then they're going to stretch out. But the reality is that your size 32 jeans probably measure out to be 33 and a half, maybe even 34. So you've got a size that's way too small for you, and especially if you buy them on sale, you wear them for a while hoping that they're going to stretch out, even though they barely fit. You've struggled to put them on. You're not going to be able to exchange those and get the right size later on. So make sure you get the sizing correct right from the start. If you're in between sizes, get the bigger size. If you're not exactly sure what size you should get the bigger size. Jeans that are a little bit bigger are going to be comfortable. I'm not saying that you should buy something, way too big, 3 or 4 inches bigger than you need. But 1 inch, an inch and a half, 2 inches even more than what you need, the jeans are still going to fit fine, right? Especially now that we're wearing a lot more looser fits. Things are less kind of snug, less on the snug side of things. Just be conscious of that. So make sure that you're getting the right measurements. You certainly want to pay attention to the waist. Everything else is important too, but if the waist doesn't do up, then odds are nothing else is going to fit either. So make sure you check on that. If you're really unsure, give us a call at the store, send us an email. We're happy to help you through the process. And hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that helps. If you got any questions, if you're in the chat and you're not sure about sizing, definitely ask me right now. We can go through the entire process.
So let's address that. 27 thin bar?
Okay.
Saying? When measuring your waist size, do you need to measure a different part of your waist depending on what cut you're buying? So here we're talking about measuring the jean, like a pair of jeans that you own or a pair of pants that you own that have a similar rise to what you're trying to buy. So like you're trying to buy a jeans that with the front rise about 10 inches or 11 inches, then you find ideally you find a pair of jeans that you own that is in the same room, the same kind of rise, so that you can measure the jeans and not the waist, because measuring your own waist is gonna be difficult. It's a totally it's a lot easier to measure and more accurate to measure what you own.
Garment wise, then you're comparing garment to garment. So if you know that a jean with a 32-inch waistband and a rise of 10 and a half fits you, then that's what you want to look for. More or less. Obviously, sometimes you have to guesstimate things. The rise of the jeans that you have at home might be a little bit shorter. They might be a little bit higher. So there's a little bit of guesswork here and there. But if you're in the same realm, then you should have a pretty accurate, inaccurate sizing at the end of the day. but another pair won't necessarily be the same cut as Naked and Famous Jeans. 20.
Right.
Correct. Right. So you're going to have to do a little bit of estimation here.
Yeah.
Right. So if the back rise of the jeans that you have is a little bit higher, and the Naked and Famous jeans that you see are a little bit lower, those are just some things that you have to consider. But then again, like within like half an inch, you're really not going to feel too much of a difference on anything.
And the key is to not play very, very close to where you like the minimum amount that you need. Like, if a pair of jeans fits you really, really tight in the waist, and that measures out to be 32 and a half inch for the waist, you don't want to be looking for something that it's actually 32 and a half. You want to be looking at something that is 33, even 33 and a half ish, so that you have a little bit of room. Like, it's not gonna be like so big that you can, fit two hands under your thing or anything like that. It's just a little bit of room you need.
Your waistband should go on easily. Ideally, you should be able to put like 2 thumbs in your waistband. Like, make sure that you've got some room. That room is going to be comfortable for you. It's going to allow you to sit. It's going to allow you to eat a big meal if you need to. All too often.
Oh, wear a sock. You can't wear socks without room in your jeans.
Right.
Waist.
All too often, we buy jeans that are too slim. And you just run into a wild world of problems over time. Number one, they become uncomfortable. So you might abandon them early. You might pick up a different pair just because you're not wearing them as much, which means you're not fading your jeans as much. They're uncomfortable, that you can't wear them, right? When you launder them and they shrink, they're going to shrink a little bit. Now, naturally, they're going to stretch mostly back out. But if you're right on the borderline and they shrink on you, then it's such a disheartening feeling when you try to put those jeans back on. They're too tight in the thigh and you can barely do up the waist. Don't do it. When they come out of the wash, you want them to still be able to go on easy. I'm talking from worlds and worlds of experience here. Get the jeans that are comfortable and don't worry about them being too snug. Snug is not going to be your friend. Unless you are very particular about wanting to wear snug jeans, which is fine, right? That's a look. But I find that too many people, that isn't necessarily what they're after, but it's what they end up with. And it doesn't work out well in the long run. You want to be able to wear your jeans for a very, very long time. And, most guys, especially once you're a little bit older like me, your weight fluctuates, right? If you go up and down, 5 or 10 pounds, you don't want to be able to go from I can wear these jeans to I absolutely can't wear these jeans. So keep those things in mind as well. Chris Karras writes, if you have a pair of jeans you like but have worn for some time and measure a 33, should you buy somewhere in the neighborhood of 32 given stretch? No. If the jeans that you like, that you've worn for some time, are a 33, that means that's what fits you. That's what fits you. If you buy jeans with, a measurement of a 32, and you're expecting them to stretch out to 33, you may find that you are going to have a bad ride. Because that 32 isn't necessarily going to stretch out to a 33.
And, even if it does, it's not going to happen when you put it on. So when you put it on, you cannot button because it's 1 inch smaller.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do? You're just going to walk around with the top button? That's just not going to happen.
Get the 33, and the 33 is going to be comfortable right off the bat. And because you're not putting a lot of force on that waistband, it's not going to stretch out as much. If you buy a 32 and you're wearing it as tight as humanly possible, hoping that you're going to get an inch of stretch out of it, you're putting so much force on that fabric. It's a lot of stress. And it may get to a 33, probably more likely get to 32 and a half, maybe 32.75. Half an inch, 3/4 of an inch is really where you're going to get most of the stretch.
And it happens only because you need that room anyways. So, it's like if you get it a little bit, looser, the fabric doesn't have to stretch out so much, because the stretching out, like, it's not just that it happens on its own. It happens because you need that room, you're wearing it, and you walk around in it.
Yeah.
If you have already an extra room built into that jeans, then it's not going to stretch out so much.
Yeah. So the game that is often played with, well, they're going to stretch.
Yeah.
They're going to stretch a little. Like, if the waistband does up just fine, and maybe they're a little snug,
Right. Yeah.
that's probably the as far tight as you want to go, right? But the key is that waistband does up no problem. If you have to struggle, if it's painful to wear, you've got the wrong size. It's no good. You know, if that happens, you receive the jeans, they don't fit at all, you got to struggle in them, take them off, fold them up, call Tate Yoko, and you say, hey, I'd like to get a different size in these. And if you bought them on sale and it's a final sale situation, say, hey, I understand. Could you please help me out with this? I know I got the wrong size. I just want to enjoy them. You know, if you could help me with the exchange, that would be wonderful. And if you ask us nicely, we're more than happy to accommodate. And if you get a no the first time, just ask nicely again, right? You know, we do go through a lot of emails, so sometimes things get answered, you know, in quickly and in haste. But work with us, we'll work with you. I promise you, we will always find a resolution to something. Just reserve the nastiness. And if you really want to, I'm just gonna say, if you really want to get help, like, email's definitely the best way, because, you know, we have time to manage it.
We can
right?
keep track of it a lot easier.
But you know, if you talk to a person at Tate Yoko, I would say that sometimes in person people are a little bit more lenient as well. But don't let that be your first, you know, thing, because when you call, that means you're kind of jumping the line a little bit, right? But
even if you call, we generally just put that in the email thread.
Yeah.
Like later. So I mean, you just have to do.
But yeah, we're.
But if you have a question, you're more than welcome to call us, and it might be easier than, you know, asking and then back and forth and getting the right answer.
Yeah. Okay. Kyle McAfee, that's quality service right there. You guys rock. You guys rock. BD, getting a pair that feels good right away. Chef's kiss. That's my MIJ7s right now. That's the way to go.
When you achieve that after you make some mistakes, that just feels so good.
The reality is that, like, a lot of people in this chat have made all the mistakes for you. I've made those mistakes for you. You don't need to make those mistakes anymore. It's 2023. Buying raw jeans online, you don't need to make mistakes.
Well, yeah, but, you know, like, we can't control how you're gonna measure jeans. Like, you know, maybe it's not, like, you know, it's just, it might take practice. It might take a little bit of, you know,
trial and error.
Yeah. So be patient and don't hem the jeans right away if you're not sure. Right.
Definitely don't hem.
Because once it's hemmed, there's nothing we can do, really.
Yeah. That's kind of the, like, stop position. If you're not sure about your size, don't get them hemmed don't use our hemming service. Get them hemmed locally. Now, you might think, well, hemming's free at Tate Yoko, is a chain stitch hem. You know what? A regular hem at a tailor shop is like $10 or $15. It's not that expensive.
Yeah, even chain stitch probably like 20, 30. I don't know.
Right.
I've never had
I wouldn't ship out a jean to get chain stitched. Just go with the single needle that your tailor shop, you know, your alteration place does. You know, spending $20 to mail something, sometimes, you know, with return mail, it might even be $30 plus another $30 to get it chain stitched somewhere. It's a lot of money. Don't recommend it. Save that money. Buy a t-shirt instead. Just get them hemmed locally. Single needle is going to be just as good. You know,
if not stronger.
Well, right. The other thing is that a lot of people, they think, well, you know, chain stitch hem, that's the vintage way, but single needle is also vintage way. Both finishes on the hem produce different kinds of roping. Is one better than the other? I don't know. Is chocolate cake better than vanilla cake?
Yes.
Well, then it's settled.
So some people have the preference, and I think it's fine. Like if you want to spend extra money to get that done because you prefer that, that's no problem. But just in general, like roping, it does look different, maybe, but it's not like if you have a single needle hemp jeans that you're not gonna have to fade. It's not that the pros have a difference. Yeah.
I raw hem all my jeans. There's no stitching there, so it's all different. But yeah, don't sweat the hemming. Like if it's not chain stitch, it's not the end of the world. It's still fine. It's gonna hold your pants. Your pants are gonna stay held together. All right. BD writes, will the Tate Yoko videos be weekly or whenever they have time? Great to see the team styles differently from one another. For those people who are in the know, Tate Yoko has a new series. We call it This Week at Tate Yoko, and it features the gang at Tate Yoko. So we got Vinny, we got Vincent, we got Garrett, we got Terry. Maybe you'll see some other folks in the mix as well. So right now we're 2 videos deep, and it's just kind of a little slice of life over at Tate Yoko. They'll let you know what's going on, what's popular, what they've been doing, what they've been wearing, what they're carrying, that kind of stuff. All the things that you might be interested to know. So it's a new program. I think it's fun. I think the guys are they're pretty entertaining to watch. So check it out if you haven't seen it already. And it's gonna be a weekly thing. I think the schedule is that we'll probably have new videos every Wednesday with the guys. So if there's something, if you've watched the show and if there's something you'd like to see them cover, let us know, because I think it's going to be obviously very community driven, as a lot of our programming is. And it'll be fun to see some other perspectives. I know that you guys like our faces a lot, but now we've got some more friendly faces on the YouTube channel for you guys to check out. Mix it up. You don't have to hear me repeat stories over and over again. We've got other guys to have their own stories and perspectives to share. And of course, everybody, we've got so many different kinds of folks at Tate and Yoko, so it's kind of cool to see how everybody wears their raw. Everyone's wearing raw jeans, but everyone wears it their own way. So maybe you'll resonate with somebody a little bit more. What do I want to see more from? I want to see more Terry's picks. I like Terry's picks. But you know what I want to do? I'm gonna throw it out there that Terry, what he should do is say something like, here's like the magic word or whatever, and if you place an order with us, between now and the next episode, we'll pick one and we'll highlight it, and then we'll give a decent prize, maybe. More than extra stickers. So maybe. If you want to have your pick featured, use the word. We'll feature you, and then he'll walk you through the process. And I think it'll be cool for people to see more of the warehouse and just kind of how vast it is. That's just part of the warehouse. In fact, the funny thing is that there's a whole there's a couple of rows of just Naked Famous stuff, but on the other side of the warehouse, it's all dead stock stuff from dude, there's winter jackets there from the 80s and 90s. There's all kinds of random stuff.
And nobody knows what's in there, really.
There's a lot of interesting things.
But it's really also long. So, the entrance to that Yoko warehouse is, on the other side of where everybody's hanging out in the video. So, once you come in, it's a long walk all the way to where the window is and, where people hang out, which is kind of a cool thing because it's just... And we basically just... walk through the pile of jeans that, and then every time we walk, because it's such a long walk, it's not minutes, but it's long enough that
Yeah.
it's just like you can kind of see what we've had.
It's a history walk.
Yeah.
Because what we'll do is like the newest stuff is closest to where the packing station is, and then some of the older stuff it just kind of gets moved like
Right.
further and further back, and so like it is definitely like
Memory lane.
yeah, memory lane.
No.
MC Dizzle says, does Tate Yoko have a retail storefront at the warehouse? Yeah, the retail storefront is on the ground floor. The warehouse is on the... like where we're operating, like there's actually two buildings that are connected to each other. So Tate Yoko is on one side of the ground level of one building, and then the warehouse is attached to the other building that's next to us.
On the third floor?
Yeah, second. Well, depends on where you're coming from, but yeah. Anyways, it's upstairs. Let me see if I can Google Map it and give you guys a look here.
And if you're visiting us, Tate Yoko store in Montreal, in the wintertime, there's a bus stop that's literally like right in front. So you don't have to have a ton. Like it's a walk from the closest metro station.
So we are. Oh, let's just check it out. So this is where we are in Montreal. It's kind of like a. This is known as like the Chabanel area. This is actually, anyways, that was a restaurant that got burnt down.
That FedEx probably have a bunch of our packages.
Yeah. Like this is very old. Like that store isn't there anymore. But this is where Tate Yoko is. That's Tate Yoko. So when you walk in on the street, it's here. There's a bus stop literally right here that will pick you up. Naked Famous offices are here, and our factory is on this floor. So Naked Famous offices are here. We got a warehouse and all that stuff. My office is here. That's my office. It's still my office. Our office. So this is Tate Yoko's storefront, and then where you see the window from the video on Tate Yoko, like on those Tate Yoko This Week at Tate Yoko videos, is right here. So this is Brandon's dad's business. It's called the Beaumarche. And then this is where Naked Famous HQ is. So these two buildings are connected.
Yeah.
So you can
move from
you can
here
go from here into here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Montreal area. They do some interior home stuff. If you need a nice kitchen or bathroom, they handle that over here. And then because we have the roof and all that stuff, the Montreal Metro system, like their HQ is. I'm taking you through a tour of Montreal. Their HQ is all of this area here, and you'll see the giant parking lot over here as well. And they do all the train repairs here. So sometimes, like you can see from the roof, like they have a bunch of like trains and train cars like piled up back here. It's pretty neat to see. So yeah, we're in an industrial-ish area, but it is accessible via bus and like a 10 or 50, maybe a 15-minute walk from the closest metro, which is around the corner that way.
In the summertime, it's no problem.
Summertime, no problem.
In the wintertime, maybe you want to take a bus.
Yeah, and then this is where we do the stuff. So there you have it, folks. That's the Beaumarche. That's we call it the Beaumarche. Beaumarche. Yeah. Okay. BL, I noticed the Core Collection Super Guy fit is somewhat different than Super Guy in Spring Fall 23. Especially later has roomier thighs and sharper taper to the hem. Would it be the same for the JoJos? The JoJos will be anything that is, if there's any, more recent Super Guy releases, you're going to have, you can expect those measurements. That said, those measurements for the core stuff probably haven't been updated in a while.
But the fit itself should be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that there's probably a little bit of a discrepancy in that.
Maybe. Yeah. If you're if you're just, on the verge and you want to make sure, just send us an email and we'll measure the current pair for you.
Yeah. Pedro, new segment, long walks with Terry.
That's kind of cool.
That's a great title.
Well, he can like introduce a different neighborhood and different not neighborhood, but like different spots around
the Beaumarche.
Yeah. Remember one time, or maybe a couple of times, like Tate Yoko crew goes out to lunch.
Oh yeah.
At the local restaurant.
That was a good segment.
That was a very good segment.
It was on Instagram. They used to go around all the local food places. Like a lot of the fashion companies in Montreal are located in our area.
Yeah, it's a garment district.
It's a full-on garment district. So, if you know the retailer like Essence, like they're there. Canada Goose had a factory there just around the corner, which I realized they closed recently, which is unfortunate. That's unfortunate for manufacturing in Quebec. But yeah, there's a lot of fashion businesses. We're in the fashion district. Okay. Juan Juan P. I'm gonna have trouble with that last name. I got dug into the boot world now. I'm digging into the denim world. Yeah, I got dug into the boot world now. I got dug into the boot world. Now I'm digging into the denim world. Yes, that happens all too often.
Very closely associated.
Boots, denim, EDC,
like workwear, men's, better purchase kind of things.
It all comes together. And yeah, I found myself in denim first, then into boots. Although my boot collection is not very diverse. There's no diversity in my boot collection. It is all Yucatan, and that's really all I wear. So take that. They are my favorite boots. I like them the most. I probably should have a couple of more traditional style.
More like a work boot.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think I should have maybe one or two of those in the mix, but every time I think, oh, well, I'm going to get some new boots, I'm like, I'd rather have these ones. Yeah.
Well, we're good friends. They're very nice people at Yucatan. That's helpful.
Yeah.
But also, we don't really need worky boots.
Yeah. I don't leave the house very much.
And even when you do, it's not like we're doing a lot of walking or a lot of, stumping around.
Okay.
We're just casually strolling the city.
Yeah. I do like the way they look. And, my Instagram feed is basically jeans, like men's heritage, classic style outfits, leather boot, leather jackets, work shirts, it's all that kind of stuff. Watches, boots, and EDC. That's I am just that's practically all I get.
Yeah, like what you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like if you're on social, if you're into one of these things, odds are any of those other adjacent hobbies are just gonna infiltrate your feed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no escaping it. The algorithm knows. It knows what we like, and it gives us what we want. If I avoided the watch thing. Not that I have an extensive watch collection or anything like that, but I avoided it like the plague. Even though I knew I would like it, but I avoided it because I'm like, if I start getting into this,
very expensive
hobby.
For no reason at all, because you can always tell the time.
Yeah, but yeah, I just I got this one the other day.
You've been sleeping with it,
yeah.
Some people sleep with their Apple Watch and stuff so that they can keep track of sleeping habits and stuff like that. You just sleep with this low-tech watch on your hand. It's funny.
Yeah, I like it because it's got the Indiglow, and I like to see that at night. It's no other reason than that. I just really like this is a Timex Ironman 8-lap. I just love it. I love this watch, and I had to have it. All right. Arif, Yucatan makes great shoes. I have a pair of Yucatan Huaraches, and I never know how to say that. Kilt moccasins? Kilte? I don't know.
Don't ask me about pronunciation.
Speaking of pronunciation, Juan clarified the pronunciation of his last name. Pulido. Juan Pulido. Well, there you go. Thank you very much.
Exactly how it's spelled too.
Well, there we have it. I appreciate the
phonetic
pronunciation, spelling of your name, so I can say it correctly and properly. JJ Jones, is there a significant difference in the taper/hem opening when hemming your jeans? I'm short, so normally hem inseams to around 29. Is there a significant difference? There will be, depending on how sharp the taper is. On a style like the Easy Guy, there will be a pretty big leg opening difference. I don't know what that is offhand, but you might have to ask a Tate Yoko crew to do a measurement for you. So if you say like, "Hey, I'm removing,"
I see.
It's like 6 inches off of the inseam on this jean. What will the leg opening measurement be? So that's something we can help you with. But yeah, that is definitely something to expect when you're hemming.
Tapered leg jeans.
Yeah, tapered leg jeans. If they're extremely tapered, then there's going to be more of a difference. If they're less tapered, then certainly less of an issue. So there you have it. Good, very good question. Very good question. Topher Cobra, it would be funny if you guys ended up making videos in the style of The Office with the Tate and Yoko crew. It would be pretty funny.
Yeah, well...
Who would I be? I'd definitely be Dwight.
You would be Dwight.
I'd be Dwight.
I think we talked about this before. Yeah, you would be Dwight.
I'm not so Jim-like.
There is no Michael. There is no Jim.
I'd give Garrett the Jim.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he probably will be the closest.
Yeah.
Although Terry looks like him the most, maybe.
Yeah.
Garrett Terry combo will
that's Jim.
Will make up one Jim.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Alright, Bears beat Battlestar Galactica. Bears do beat Battlestar Galactica. No. What are you talking about? BD, live measuring done at Tate and Yoko episode. That is a good one. They could live measure, that's for sure. You guys need a creed at Tate and Yoko. No. We don't, we do and we don't. I do, like, the thing is like, some of the characters in The Office work very well for a television show, but given the real world...
Yeah, we can't keep paying for somebody who doesn't do anything.
Yeah. And, like, imagine the trouble you'd get with a Michael Scott.
That's not realistic at all.
It's, give me a D'Angelo Vickers all day. Yeah, I could... Give me D'Angelo. I love D'Angelo.
Yeah.
The whole series should have just would have...
No, I don't... Yeah. I actually don't like that part so much. I like Will Ferrell, but I don't know.
Some of the greatest episodes, D'Angelo.
I do prefer Robert California.
One.
Alternate.
Who would be Stanley?
Yeah, so that's, again, like, that's something that we can't really have. Although Stanley is, as not interested as he is, he's probably not a bad worker.
Yeah, he gets his job done.
Stuff done. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who.
Pedro.
There isn't anybody that grumpy.
No, there's nobody that grumpy. And I don't think we've ever had anybody that grumpy.
Yeah, we have have an Aaron, receptionist.
Yeah. Pedro, Todd Packer at Tate and Yoko.
No.
I used to work with some Todd Packer types. Like, no joke. I used to work with people like that who were just an HR nightmare. And I guess, but for the fact that they were high performers, I mean, that was one of the rude awakenings when I was a young person getting into the working world, like meeting people like that. And I'm like, I was so sheltered from anything close to, people like this. And I'm like, not only are these people, do they exist, but they're succeeding somehow in life and all these things. I'm like, this is crazy. But yeah, it is kind of funny to watch Todd Packer, and I'm sure many people have been in jobs where you had folks like that where you're just like, how is this person still here? And yeah, and they're I guess they're doing well. It seems like Todd Packer is some kind of a performer, because otherwise how would he be there?
Oh, it's just one of those things.
But maybe it's just because Michael wants to keep him around. David Dixon, I didn't think anyone at the office did work. Maybe. Yeah, I mean they had to. They were the top performing branch, and like every now and then you'd see Michael really shine with a sale.
Yeah, but like Jim and Dwight, they're like, they do work.
Oh yeah,
they're
Dwight especially. Topher Cobra, you guys wouldn't necessarily need to replicate The Office, but it would be funny to play off the denim world and retail in general. Yeah, I think so. I would say that the only problem, and I guess we'll give it a try, when recording in the store, is that the store is the echoiest place in the entire building to record.
Yeah.
It is so hard to record audio in the store just because of the size that it is, and it just is just so much reverb.
But also, like, what we're trying to do here is a little bit less editing. Like, office style shooting is going to be like so much editing. Yeah, because you gotta edit out the time that nobody's talking, or doing very. But
even to do an episode in the store is difficult just because of that echo. Mm-hmm. One time, remember back in the day, I used to do the podcast with Sierra, and there's actually an episode where we recorded the entire thing in the store, like a pretty long session, and the audio was completely unusable. Yeah. It was I just couldn't do it, and there is a lost episode that was never put out because of it. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, we can give the guys lav mics, but we'd have to go and buy a bunch of them. Who knows? If the channel gets big enough, maybe one day. Speaking of the channel, you might have noticed that I noticed that there were some ads running on our videos. So it seems, I didn't monetize the channel, but it seems YouTube has, in my 5 minutes of research, it turns out that in order to, I don't know if you can even do it, but you have to monetize your channel and then turn ads off. And because I haven't monetized the channel, they are just going to run ads on them. And I feel like if YouTube is running ads on my videos, then they're making money off our videos, and I would rather make the 6 cents a month that we're going to make off our videos. So it may come to the point where I'm going to have to turn on monetization, and if I can turn off the ads, I will. But if there has to be ads, I will make it as minimal as possible. I'm not trying to run ads on these things, but if there are, that's why. And I never wanted to have ads on here. I know I could run, I could put the videos on another platform, but there's just the audience is on YouTube. So if I put it somewhere else just to avoid ads, then I miss reaching people. So.
But what is the point of monetizing it if you?
I don't know.
Get ads anyways, and then you just to prevent YouTube from making
Yeah,
more
why should
money,
YouTube?
or
Why should YouTube? I
Then
put the work together to so we might as well make the, you know what I mean? Like why let them take it all?
But if you monetize, then they still take the cut anyway.
Well, they take a cut. They don't take the whole cut. So it's peanuts, right? It's YouTube tax. Yeah, it's YouTube tax. But yeah, I'm not gonna let them, take it all. Like they didn't make my video. They definitely gave us the platform, but the platform is, I don't know, everything feeds everything. So without the creators, they don't have content to sell the ad space, and so on and so forth. So, anyways, whole complicated, not that complicated situation, but
not an ideal situation.
not an ideal situation. I wish you could run a channel ad free. I will try my best. Rice Checks, that's a good name. Rice Checks writes, if you had to choose to live in either Canada or Japan for the rest of your life, which country would you choose and why? I would pick Japan. I really do like it here. Why? If you've not been here before, the novelty of Japan, the things that you'll notice, like when you get here, like, wow, it's so clean. Everybody's so nice. And, especially if you live in a place like Tokyo, you have access to everything. Everything is here.
Things that you didn't even think about is here. And
you don't even have to live, like in Toronto, I feel like if you want to be in Toronto, you kind of have to be in Toronto. Because otherwise, like if you live in Mississauga, Brampton, Guelph, Waterloo, if you live outside of Toronto, it's a real mission to get into Toronto. Even from Mississauga to get into like downtown Toronto, like whatever which way you look at it, whether you're driving or taking the public transit or whatever, it's taking you minimum an hour to get in. It just, you have no choice. The traffic is that bad. It's hard. Whereas, from central Tokyo, it is a 20-minute ride, like, for us. But, like, my point is that, like, even if you live hours away in a drive from central Tokyo, you could get into the city on the metro relatively cheap and relatively quickly. So, like,
I also think that driving in metro, it's given no traffic, it's always kind of the same amount of time because there's freeways everywhere. But I mean, metro system is much better.
Yeah.
Obviously, much more reliable. That's one thing.
Yeah, the reliability is huge.
It's not necessarily cheaper, but if you look at it in terms of like how,
I think it is cheaper because like
it's hard to argue that point because in Tokyo area or anywhere in Japan for that matter, it's like depends on how long you go. So if it's just one station, the fee is minimal, the small amount, like 160, 150 or something like that, 150 yen, which is, $1 basically. But like if you go too far, then that's that much more money. And if you transfer from like one system to another, then you get two different fees, whereas like if you stay on one line, then it's whatever. But in a lot of North America, it's like one ride, no matter how long you go.
Yeah, but that's not the way it is even in Montreal anymore. Like there's distance based and like
that's a little bit of that, which is way more complicated in Japan.
But even just to get into the metro in Montreal now, it's like $325, like $350. Like the prices have gone up a lot.
Yeah, the minimum price is much higher. Yeah. And then maximum probably is lower, but you can't really go that far.
And I mean, just in terms of the quality of the transit system, this is miles ahead, not even like steps ahead. We're not even talking, it's not even the same league, right? Mm-hmm. And so
it does get crowded.
But it is very reliable. You can get anywhere. And my ability to have access to everything, I'm close to a big city, but I'm not in the big city, but I can get to the big city. All of the stuff that you could ever want is here. but I think just the combination of all that stuff, like if you ever visit Japan, like you'll like, some of this stuff is a little novel to you because they're like, wow, it's clean. Wow, people are nice. And like, I'm not saying that Canadians aren't nice, but it's certainly not as clean as it used to be. And just the reliability of stuff just isn't the same as, I would say, here. There is certainly some drawbacks, like with, you know, paperwork and bureaucracy and you know, things
Something
like that.
You don't really have to worry about.
Like there are certain things that are just harder to get, like, you know, if you want to DIY like your home stuff, like just because people don't really do that here, like, you know, you go to like an average like home center here, and like you're not gonna find like a shower and like, you know, 15 different kinds of toilets, and like nobody's rebuilding their house here. Like everybody here,
you can change your shower head.
Right. Like everybody pays somebody to do that for them. So like if you want to do something, like it's a little bit more difficult here, but you know, whatever. I don't know how to build anything anyways. But I think that just the peacefulness, the calmness, the safeness, and the affordability, and
not so harsh winter. I mean, that's like, I know it's such a cliche, but it is harsh.
Yeah. So I love Canada. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, to have that every year, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's hard.
But I think my life is infinitely better out here. It really is. Yeah. So that's my short pitch for Japan. Affordability is also huge. Like food costs are they're not the same as what they are in North America, and
yeah.
I could have an entire podcast alone on this topic.
Yes. For sure.
If you want to know more, come visit Japan. Visit Japan. Bring your I'm presuming you're American. Bring your American dollar and buy the whole country, because everything is on sale for you, because your American dollar is worth so much right now that it's great. Pedro, who's got better pizza, Japan or Canada? The West has better pizza.
That's debatable.
The West has better pizza. I don't think it's debatable. That is a fact.
I think that's debatable. I mean, when you're saying pizza, you're probably picturing American style pizza.
Yeah, the real pizza. Yeah.
The real pizza came from the country who invented pizza.
Yes, and those people went to America and perfected it. That's what they did. The Italians, they have pizza, and it's fine, and it's nice. But Italians came to North America, and they said, we're going to make it better. And they did. And it is still Italian. There's no, you can't take the Italian just because they went somewhere else to do it. It's kind of like, you know, sometimes somebody will, like, to talk about, like, North American Chinese food, and they're like, that's not real Chinese food. I'm like, no, it is. Like,
yeah, but it is like, American Chinese food, because there's a difference.
But it's still part of it. It all comes from the flavors of their country.
Yeah, but it's not an insult to say that.
No, people do use it as an insult. People do use it as an insult.
No,
and I disagree with that.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. Yeah. But there is a difference. Yeah. It's an American pizza.
Yeah, BD American pizza fight. It is a pizza. It's not a fight. This is not a fight, because it is so obvious that North American pizza is better that there's no argument. It's like it is a stone cold fact.
Good thing I'm not like a pizza person, so I can't really care less. Like I don't, I like pizza, but it's not like I'm passionate about Italian pizza or anything. But
Nicholas Brandon, not a debate, eh? Not even close. USA, USA, USA. Correct, Junior. The pizza debate, there is no debate. There's only one winner, and that is American-style pizza. Risa is cringing so hard right now.
Yeah. It's a difference of opinion.
Yeah. MC Dizzle, Bayside's going to wake up tomorrow with 10 Japanese-made pizzas as blankets. I just have to say that... Man, no, I'm not going to dunk on Japanese Domino's right now. But, like, they have some ridiculous options.
Oh, I love those options. They have, they have, seafood pizza where they put shrimps and scallops and, like squids and stuff like that. They're very creative in a way. Like they have like Korean chicken flavored pizza where like they put like the sweet and hot chicken bits on there. They put like seaweed on there. They have a lot of fun inventions.
It's a lot of fun. And the amount of mayo that is put on pizza here is
I'm against that.
It is a standard. They're like, okay, you've got pizza, now let's drown it in mayonnaise. And I'm like, why would you?
Because when it's not like when it's not the red sauce pizza, they tend to put mayo on it for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know, to make it creamy.
Milo 17, mayo on pizza? Yeah, no thanks. So anyways, Japanese pizza is interesting. There are few like North American style pizza places here, and they're okay.
And to be fair, like Domino's is certainly the style of North American. It's just they put different stuff on there.
But like New York slice style, pizza places, there's a couple.
Yeah.
They're fine. They're like they wouldn't be like, I'll go there every now and then, but like you go out with like 2 slices and a pop, and it's like $14.
Yeah,
like it's expensive.
Yeah, and it's because like of because we don't know about New York pizza so much.
Yeah.
It's just like it's kind of like the vibe that you go for. Like you go there, and then obviously there's a lot of Western people there because they're just oh, finally this is the pizza that I like, and so it's just it has that cool tax on it.
Definitely has cool tax. So, anyways, somebody asked me, Brainstorm, New York or Chicago style. Chicago style is not pizza. It is a pie.
Yeah,
it is a pie with pizza flavors, but it is not a pizza.
It's a bizarre thing.
Yeah, it's more like akin to a chicken pot pie or something like that. It is fine. I'm not offended by it, but I'm never gonna order Chicago style pizza over a New York style pizza ever.
No, but I would assume that even people in Chicago, when they say pizza, they're not picturing deep dish.
No.
They're picturing the flat one. Right?
And it takes like an hour to get the pizza.
Yeah.
You go to a Chicago style pizza place, and like the first thing they tell you is like it's gonna be an hour. It's gonna be 45 minutes, and you're like,
committed to.
Yeah, you're committing to an event, and then of course you can't eat the whole thing. And a riff right here. It's a week's meal replacement. Of course, you can eat 1 slice, maybe 2, and then you have to bring like imagine you're on a date with somebody and they're like, all right, what do you want? The small, okay. Well, you both eat 1 slice and you have this giant thing of pizza you got to walk around with now.
Yeah, like a cake.
Yeah. A riff writes, in Chicago, we do not eat deep dish regularly. Yeah, it's an event. Yeah. It's like you go to the restaurant, someone's in town, you take them there. Nobody's, that's nobody's favorite. Like a Detroit style, sure.
But like in Chicago, they have the regular pizza, right? Like they just have it.
Yeah,
it's
for sure
separate from the deep dish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Griffin, I couldn't imagine a restaurant that served both. The staff would be in disagreement about whose is better as they work. That'd be funny. A riff writes, Scratch and Sniff cheese Selvedge denim. You know who did a Scratch and Sniff pizza thing? Xbox and Ninja Turtles. They did a controller.
Ew.
Yeah, that had, I gotta look it up. It's crazy. It
smells like pizza?
I thought it was stupid, but it was interesting.
Controller, so it's like basically permanent. Like you.
It has like a. Hold on, you gotta see it. So there's a new movie that came out.
Is this like?
Yeah, this is real. This is like
recent?
the last couple of weeks. Yeah, so the world's first pizza-scented Xbox controllers. So you get the controller, and then it has this attachment that goes in the back that sprays out like.
Oh,
a pizza smell.
Out.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah, it's dumb. I mean, it's a fun little marketing thing, and like you'll get it, and it's like funny for 5 seconds, but then you have, this thing. The world's first pizza-scented Xbox controllers.
All right.
Yeah. It's they got some marketing out of it, obviously. But maybe if I was younger, it would have been more
Funnier.
intriguing to have as an item. I probably would have bought it just because it was dumb, and I would have thought it was funny, but I don't have a lot of room for that kind of stuff anymore. Pedro, yeah, it comes with a diffuser. It puts out a smell. Yeah. Pedro, people will buy anything. People won't buy anything, but
there's a value in funny party trick products.
Yeah. I'm not knocking it it has no value. Mm-hmm. If you find fun things and quirky things like that interesting, then that's a product for you.
Like
right?
Scratch and Sniff Jeans. Nobody needs that, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah. It's out there. It's crazy, and so I appreciate the craziness. Brainstorm, we got the Shutters Revenge game, and it came with a coupon for Pizza Hut Personal Pan Pizza. Interesting. I also got the Shutters Revenge game. I did not get a coupon for Personal Pan Pizza, but my original NES copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did come with a coupon for a personal pizza at Pizza Hut. That's probably what they were referring to when they did that with the newer game. But my original game for the Nintendo Entertainment System did come.
When you say personal pizza...
Personal Pan Pizza used to get like this little
one?
tiny one. Yeah, it's like a 4-slicer. Tiny. Nicholas Brenson, I miss Pizza Hut. Read a book incentive. Pizza Hut had a read a book incentive. I didn't remember that. I used to go with my buddy all the time to Pizza Hut on our lunch break. Good times. Salad bar. I liked the atmosphere of a Pizza Hut. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just like it was like a tavern,
Is it like the Shakey's kind of vibe?
I've never been to a Shakey's.
We've been there together in Shibuya, remember?
Yes,
Is it that
right.
vibe?
It is like that vibe. Yeah, that's it. So I have been to Shakey's. Any thoughts about doing railroad jeans? Has Naked Famous ever ventured into this direction? That's Rice Checks and asked that question. Yes, we have. If you're talking about 2x1 type of I don't know what you're asking. Are you asking for a striped denim? Sometimes you'll see those white and navy striped denims. Mm-hmm. I think we did a chore coat in that.
Hickory denim.
The hickory denim. But I don't think we did it as a jean. We did a chore coat, and we do a lot of workwear repro style jeans in the summertime. So we had the Blue Jay Selvedge, we had the mainline Selvedge. We have another one coming up called the Craftsman Selvedge for spring summer 24. So we have a kind of a mini series of denims based off of old workwear style garments. So I think that falls into that. Mm-hmm. Let me know if that covers it. The striped variety, you ask. No. Maybe one day we'll do a jean like that. I find that those kind of fabrics are really better represented as chore coats or jackets. Maybe even an overall.
Yeah. And that also our jeans fits it doesn't really it didn't work with the lineup. Maybe with True Guy or Strong Guy maybe, but it's just one of those things.
Wizard of 32 ounce Garrett in the house writes, "Who wants Wabash?" And let him know. Let him know.
No. I mean, I'm sure he would like.
Yeah. Bryce checks wrong aesthetic. It sounds like. It depends on the garment. But yeah. We do have some kind of stripy denim coming up. So next, did I put it there? It's over there. See it? Yeah. This is coming out next Friday. The video is going to be dropping on Monday. This is the new Herringbone Selvedge. Sorry, Herringbone denim, not
It's
Selvedge. Not Selvedge. So if you like that kind of stripy look, we've got you covered here. And this is a herringbone twill. So it's basically an alternating left-hand twill, right-hand twill situation going on. And from far, it looks like a typical pair of raw denim jeans. The right angle of light, from far, but when you see it in the light and you get the right angle, you can see those lines kind of peeking through. And the beautiful thing about this is just how nicely it fades. So we did a little fade test here, and you can see those lines coming through a little bit more pronouncedly. Hard to focus on that. But this is the newest fall-winter 2023 jean to be coming out. It's going to be coming out next Friday, August 25th at Tate Yoko, Naked Famous Denim NYC, and a variety of Naked Famous Denim retailers worldwide. A very, very fun one.
Yeah.
The video is coming out on Monday. We've got a Chore coat also in this one as well. I have it here. I think my sample was a little bit big.
Chore coat in general kind of runs big.
Yeah.
So like if you wear it over something, so there's a lot of room underneath.
Yeah, I would maybe throw if it feels just a little big, just throw it in the wash and it'll probably shrink up and you want it to kind of have a better drape anyways, but this is the jacket right here, and I think if you want that like classic workwear kind of vibe, this is definitely going to give you that one. If you didn't get the Blue Jay Selvedge, then this one is going to work very, very nicely for you. You can see those stripes quite nicely, and just as a comparison here, you can see how nicely that denim is going to fade. So this is the herringbone denim, and take a look on the inside. You can see that beautiful zigzag pattern, much more clearly, in fact. Okay, Terrence is in the house. No coupons for herrings included with purchase. Sorry. Somebody must have asked about a coupon code. Okay. Arif writes, why the decision not to go Selvedge with the herringbone denim? It looks beautiful.
It's not a decision on our part because the weaving of this, this fabric, we didn't have access to a shuttle loom.
A jacquard shuttle loom.
That does this weaving technique.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not a matter of like if we wanted it Selvedge or not. Sometimes it's
like we can just add on to it.
It's like the machine for that is not present. Yeah. So. That's basically the situation there. Joel Farrell writes, do you have the expected release date for the 15th anniversary denim? Hey, Bayzad, hope you guys are doing well. Thank you very much. We are doing well. Expected release is going to be November. I would say November. Maybe the first week of November, but around there. It will be a November drop. We've got Wizard of 32 Ounce, Garrett and Terry in the house. The stars of the Tate this week at Tate and Yoko, our newest programming on YouTube. In fact, guys, I think there were some comments left in the comment section there. I can answer some, but I'm sure the folks would love to hear from you. So if you want to jump in there and give them your opinions, please do so, and we'll make this whole community of pants friends come together full circle. Rice checks. What's your process to accelerate fading for samples like that? You just
like this.
What's your process to accelerate fading for samples like that? Just to see how they look before committing to a run. What's our process? I mean, the process, you can talk about how you did that.
So this one, I did it with bleach. So this one, I basically put pure bleach on here. I brushed, I used a really coarse brush and put bleach on it. well, first you wet the fabric, and I use coarse brush to just kind of scrape the surface of this area, and then you just kind of rinse it out, or leave it for 5 minutes or so, 5-10 minutes, and then just wash it off. I actually did, like, I had 2 small swatch of this fabric, and initially I just left it in a water diluted bleach water for hours, and you can get like more bright fade, but it's very uniform because it's like liquid. It's just soaked in there for hours at a time. So I think this is a little bit more realistic in terms of,
because you can see the gradient tone.
Yeah, because it's based off of abrasion, just like when you wear a jeans. So this way, I think you can see a little bit more. Realistic fades. So
we do this so that when we deal with our suppliers, they actually give us sample kind of wash downs.
They don't give us this. They basically a lot of the times they give us like the variation of this. Yeah. Like it's more soaked in.
Right. The gradient tone is what we have to do ourselves.
Yeah.
But at least we know when they give us like the full wash down, and like they'll have like levels of it. We can see what the gradation is going to be like. So sometimes you'll see in our product videos that we do that I'll do like I'll kind of flip through some swatches, and that's what our mills are giving us. Yeah. So this is something that we had to do ourselves just to kind of showcase the gradation, but sometimes it's going to be just full color spectrum, and it's not maybe fully indicative of how the jeans are going to fade on the body, but it gives you kind of an understanding of the potential colors that can come out of the jean.
Yeah, definitely. Right. And we try to, like, I think we should try and do, like, have this kind of things available if, for future fabrics. If there isn't anything that is, like, this little swatches that you flip through, then we want to try and create something like that just to show off some fades.
Right. Pajama music, 2:30 a.m. here, have to go to sleep. Gotta get your sleep. But I will watch the rest of the live stream when I wake up. Take care, everyone. Take
Thanks
care.
For hanging out till 2:30.
Okay. Ethan Lee, the waistband of my jeans have a Selvedge ID, and they are made with Selvedge, fabric, but they have no Selvedge ID. Serge seam. Are they still Selvedge jeans?
If it's made from the same fabric.
Yeah, it's quite, I doubt that they would do this, but it is quite possible that, I mean, it's theoretically possible that you could get fabric made on, like, equivalent yarn, everything. One's made on a Selvedge, shuttle loom, one's made on a projectile loom, and then they use some of the Selvedge. It would be stupid because you would only be using the edges of the fabric to create the waistband, and then wide width material to make the rest of the jean.
But to be fair, the leg part is the part that takes up the most amount of fabric. Yeah. So if they want to save money, like, they could do that. I don't know if that's the case here. The case likely of your jean, maybe it's just that, like, maybe they didn't want to have the cut, like, because to have a Selvedge outseam, you have to have a straight line outseam of the pattern, whereas like some pants you want it taper like this from both sides, and if you have to do that, then you can't use Selvedge ID as an outseam. You have to have a serged outseam that
or
be cut down.
They used the Selvedge portion for the waistband, and then they cut the legs out of the center part of the fabric. Yeah. So that's more likely what happened. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities there, but
and it's like, if they don't care, like, they don't have to, like, use the, they don't have to put the Selvedge outseam, then they don't necessarily, like, plan the production that way.
Let me find you something interesting, because I have had jeans in the past where I gotta pull it up. Hold on. You got
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, keep talking so it's not just me searching for
so,
something.
I mean, like Selvedge, like using Selvedge ID for outseam is it's the most popular way, and it does kind of make sense because serging takes up, a process too. And if you're using this, Selvedge edge as the outseam, then you can skip that part. You don't have to do anything. It's already clean. So that's why back in the days they were using it that way. And, nowadays it's kind of like, oh, if it's not on the outseam, then it's not Selvedge kind of, idea. But that's not necessarily true. There's parts of the fabric that you can use as outseam that needs serging. So it's possible that your fabric is made on shuttle loom. It's just that they didn't use it the same way that everybody else does.
Right. So this I just wanted to pull up is a kind of a neat. One second. Example of. That's the first picture. That's the second. Okay.
So the Beaumarche that we talked about earlier, which is Brandon's father's or grandfather's originally business.
Yeah.
They have a lot of dead stock items.
So this was something that I found in the warehouse many years ago. So Beaumarche, as you saw, so Beaumarche design. So you can see pocket flashers have been part of our history for quite a long time. So this is a Chore coat that they made. It seems like maybe late 70s and maybe the 80s. Durable denim, sand-frized, 9 ounces per square yard. So this old school Chore coat. It's actually made with Wabasso denim, which was a Canadian denim mill that went out of business a very, very long time ago. And the consideration of Selvedge back in the day as a detail, it really wasn't always something that anyone even cared about. And I will show you, here's a closer look at that Wabasso label, made in Canada, right here. This was a Selvedge jacket, but because the thinking is that like on edges of fabric, you got to serge them, they just serged over the Selvedge. And you'll find this on all kinds of vintage garments. Mm-hmm. What?
You want to delete that?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah. So you'll find something like this on all kinds of vintage garments. I found vintage overalls where like the Selvedge like is kind of hidden underneath a seam or folded over or just not visible at all. So sometimes people's consideration of Selvedge is, especially for vintage garments, or sometimes if people want to do like maybe an authentic vintage reproduction, like you might find details like this and like it might be confusing for some people who are expecting Selvedge to look a certain way, but Selvedge wasn't always like this thing. It the thing that it is now, like, you know, something that we look at like with that we appreciate, right? It was just a common normal fabric.
But this was very like, you know, inefficient. That's a mistake in the production. That's an inefficiency.
Yeah,
but
because it didn't need to be serged. But yeah, that was it. Okay. Sean Lee writes, sorry to jump a question. That's okay. We're here to ask questions. What is the quantity of JoJo jeans? I'm afraid of Harding. Grab it due to limited quantity. I'm presuming you're asking how many JoJo jeans are we getting, and you're worried about being able to get one. I think you're going to be able, if you're there on the first day, you should be able to get one. There will be not a lot.
Not a lot, but there is 6 fabrics and 4 fits in every single jean, so and every single fabric. So that's a lot of different styles, and I would assume that not everybody's just buying one. So,
right,
you know, like one item, like one style. So I think you know, just by sheer variety of the products, you'll probably be okay. But some things probably are more popular. Like, I feel like Jotaro is going to be the most popular. So,
right. Just be there day one. That's the biggest thing.
Day one, the first hour, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Likely, we're going to have 2 releases. So we'll have like 3 characters one week, and then the next week we'll have another 3 characters. Mm-hmm. So just stay tuned for announcements. Chris Griffin, I've seen PaulRose stuff secondhand online, and Brandon's dad named a line after him. I've seen that for sale too. Neither distributor would ship to me from Canada to USA. That stinks. Just here's another artifact from the warehouse. The PaulRose products. So this is an original dye that was used. And this was the workwear brand that Brandon's grandfather started. And it's one of few artifacts that we still have of this brand. And even apparel-wise, there's only a handful of items. I have a jumpsuit that we made in my office. But I'm sure if we scoured the warehouse a little bit deeper, we might be able to find a little bit more stuff. But there's not too much of it, like the original PaulRose products garments. And then there's a brand called David Brandon, which is a brand that Brandon's father started when Brandon was born. So PaulRose products, Brandon's grandfather, David Brandon jeans, that is Brandon's dad, and Brandon Naked Famous Denim. So three generations, lots of workwear and lots of jeans in that lineage. BD writes, Wabasso was in the city I live in now. They had 500 looms, apparently. Doesn't surprise me. Textile manufacturing was a big industry in North America. Sewing was a big industry in North America. It wasn't that long ago. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm old. I just remember things. But it wasn't that long ago. When I was a kid, my friends' parents, they worked in factories. They worked in sewing places. Like, that was a normal, everyday job for a lot of people. And it's not a normal, everyday job for people anymore. And it's odd that we've lost it, despite there being I guess this is like where where there's just so much talk, I guess, in the world and in the air of responsible this and responsible that, and it seems like there's all of these people spouting these ideals, and I think that it's just nothing more than people spouting ideals, because when it comes down to it, what's popular and what's successful are not the things. It doesn't correlate with the things that the people are saying, and I guess it's just maybe it boils down to obviously I'm going to say I want things that are made nicely and properly and efficiently and sustainably. It's so nice and easy to say all of those things, but to then shell out the money to actually put your money where your mouth is, it doesn't match up, right? All I hear on the news and the media, and I don't, there's some, anyways, I'm not going to dunk on the show that I saw, but it was an entire program, Canadian program, that was based on sustainable manufacturing, and nothing they talked about in that entire program had any nothing was based in reality. And it's we have stuff today that you could be doing, and we're not, and you're not even highlighting it. You're just not even interested in it. You're not interested in the problem. You're more interested in saying that you care about the problem. And if people for as much as they pretend to care, if that matched up with how much they would be willing to put their money where their mouth is in terms of the kinds of products that they buy, we would have these mills, we would have these factories, we'd have all that stuff still in Canada today.
Yeah.
But we don't.
Yeah. And it's just the perception that it is kind of a sad thing to see how you know, working at a factory is not an ideal job anymore. Like, it's not a job that people, you know, are proud of. And I think that's really comes down to like it's not necessarily how should I put it? Like it's a good job. Job is a job, and it's like if working at Starbucks is an acceptable,
right?
You know,
like that's
job.
a factory too. Like if you think about it, like you have to make something, right?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like okay, like it's one thing to aspire to build a business from ground up or whatever, like you know something that you want to do, you know, save lives, you know, be a doctor, whatever. But like if you're just like okay, like I'm not there. Like I want to have money coming in. I need to have money coming in. Like what can I do? Like a factory job is actually not bad at all because you're actually learning how to make things, like how things are made. And it's like, you know, it's one thing to be replaced by technology, but it's another to be replaced by people who are, you know, thousands and thousands of miles away. Like it's a little, it's a shame.
And all these like, all of the jobs that are like, you know, every job takes a skill. But there's a certain set of skills that can be absolutely replaced by a kiosk. And the reason why the kiosk is there is because it's cheaper to run the kiosk than it is to keep you. And they will have no qualms about getting rid of you when the time comes.
Yeah.
And try doing that to try doing that to somebody who makes something. You can't. If you're making furniture, if you're making jeans, if you're a tailor, there is no machine that is going to take your skill away from you.
Yeah.
It is, you cannot do it.
And you can take that skill to your home too.
At best, they will make the tool that you use to make better and more efficient.
Yeah.
But they're never going to take you out of the picture, right? Because your skill is infinitely higher than, you know, the menial task that a kiosk is going to take away from you.
Yeah, and obviously, like, because, you know, clothing is such a, like, variety thing.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody's wearing... If all the people in the world started wearing the exact same things, then I can see the technology can take over. But it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So you still have to have, like, human... You know, like, they're not going to develop machines for every single item that people are going to want to wear.
If there was one standard garment, if we lived in
that world,
that weird future where we're all wearing
the same, the uniform,
you know,
like a prison.
Yeah, right. That would basically have to be it. But it just bugs me when I see things like they had 500 looms. They had 500 looms. Mm-hmm. How did and we're, it's not like jeans have gone away.
Right.
We're still wearing jeans.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not replaced by machines. We're replaced by people in other countries, which is
fine.
It's fine, but it's like, why would you do that when we can make it locally?
Right. Why buy it from somewhere else when it can be made right in your own backyard? And the people who make it in their backyard can sell it to the people in their backyard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want them to be without business, and you know, obviously, trade is important as well. I'm happy to have something from somewhere else come in, and I'm not a interventionist. Like, I don't believe in like, oh well, that's gonna disrupt our business here and there. I think they're, you know, and putting up these policies in place to like stop that. I think that there's a healthy balance, and if like we I don't want to get too deep into this.
Yeah, well, we're kind of running out of time.
All right.
So
okay. Jeans are forever, Pedro says. That's it. Jeans are forever. You think the last mills will be in Japan? I hope shuttle looms continue on for a long time. The last looms, I mean, the looms are going to keep moving all around the world forever. There's still some left in America. There is... The Middle East is where it's... I mean, if you look at a pie chart of like where denim is made in the world, the Middle East is like all of it. Like the output of Turkey in a month puts out more denim than Japan does in a year. Just Turkey's output.
Yeah.
I guess Europe.
Yeah. I think Europe. Eastern Europe?
Eastern Europe. But
Yes. Yeah, I mean, because they are operating the most modern and efficient machines, they can, cover a lot.
Any brand that's like, yeah, we need to make 1 million units, they're buying from Turkey, they're buying from Pakistan, they're buying from India. That's where it's coming from. And like, you think 1 million, like, there's a lot of companies out there that make 1 million units. There's companies out there that won't make something unless they're making 1 million units. They're like, unless we think we can make 1 million of these, we're not even considering putting these into production.
Yeah, and Japan has its own problems, but I think in terms of shuttle looms keeping craft alive, Japan has probably the best chance at it.
Yeah, they have the best chance. Pedro, chances of a Supima warp and weft jean. We have the Sea Island cotton denim coming up soon. So if you're looking for something in the premium cotton category, we have the American Sea Island cotton Selvedge coming up.
It's an extra long staple cotton.
Yeah.
Very nice fabric.
Very beautiful. Very soft and comfortable. I'll give you a look at it, but then, oops. This guy right here. We were just shooting the video yesterday. Beautiful, beautiful fabric. Super soft and silky. Rigid, but silky. Very comfortable. This is going to be
the color came out really nice too. It's so dark.
It is like dripping with indigo. Mm-hmm. It's very beautiful. So you'll see more about this soon. This will be an upcoming release. In the very near future. In fact, Blue Owl has these right now. I think they have them in the Weird Guy. Right. But we'll have the full set out in a couple weeks' time. So we're going to leave it there. I want to do a quick snack time with you.
Snack time.
I want to do snack time. Arif writes, picked up the Sea Island cotton from Blue Owl already, and he got them in the Weird Guy fit. How do they feel, Arif? Are they soft and silky, as I said? Soft and silky. Soft and silky Selvedge. Junior, I'm going to Blue Owl next month. You will have a great time at the Blue Owl. I promise you. The Moor, will we see any fox fiber Selvedge soon?
Yes.
We're working on it. It's coming. It's definitely coming.
All
okay.
Right.
Great snack time today because I found these in America.
I've never had it.
I've never had this. These are not available in Japan. I brought it back from America. And as a someone who doesn't consume the alcohol, I really like that I have a product that looks cool. Right?
That's true.
You know,
all the craft beers and the cool drinks.
And like I drank a lot of seltzer water. Like I drank a lot of LaCroix and like things like that. Like I just, this looks cool. This is cool packaging. The can size is cool. Like it's different. It's like a tall boy. Murder your thirst. I want to murder my thirst. Junior writes, I don't like liquid death at all. Well, I'm gonna find out. I bought 3 cans of different flavors. I've never had any at all. So I'm gonna have them live with you.
So this has
this is
agave.
iced tea, agave, and vitamins.
All right.
Why
is it called Liquid Death?
I think just because it has a cool name.
Oh,
I think they were like, I mean, you know, I don't think they're trying to murder us, but they're trying to murder your thirst. Mm-hmm. Great packaging, great everything. Big fan. Kyle McAfee. Toque Chico is life. Maybe Topo Chico.
Topo Chico is amazing.
Yeah.
I found it in Japan at Don Quixote, and it's pretty good.
Liquid Death is the best water brand. Super responsible, great messaging, and their answer to the water bottle industry. All right. Well, you know what? I like to always say that, you know, all of the stuff that, you know, the story behind, oh, we're responsible, this and that, it doesn't matter unless you got a good product.
Right.
And so it looks cool, the marketing is cool, and now let's find out if it's a cool product or not. It pours, this is iced tea. It looks like a beer. I think that's what beer looks like.
Does it?
I don't know. All right, so we're pouring it here in our McDonald's cups. Okay. Iced tea, Liquid Death, Grim Leafer. What a great name. Grim Leafer.
What a great graphic. All right.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. McDonald's Canada. It's a weird way to drink.
Very nice, actually.
Yeah. Kind of refreshing.
Very drinkable. Yeah. It's not like completely like, you know, the regular iced tea. Like it has
it tastes very tea-like.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like junky iced tea.
No. It's per can of 568 milliliter, it's only 30 calories.
Right. Yeah.
So it's
It
just a
doesn't.
hint of calories.
Yeah, it doesn't taste junky. It tastes like real tea. This is fantastic.
It is great. It's a great product.
Yeah. I'm a big go buy some of this. After the live stream, go to your local Target and
It's nice. Do they sell this in Canada?
I don't think so.
Because the problem with me living in Canada was that whenever I'm thirsty, we go to dépanneur or, you know, convenience store, and then it's either water or, like, sugary drinks.
Yeah, there's not a lot of, like...
There's nothing in between. Yeah. This is, like, perfectly in between.
Great product. I can't... I'm happy. Happy I found this. But I'm a little sad that I'm not going to be able to get too many of these.
Oh.
When I go to America, I'm going to have to bring back more.
I mean, there's a lot of, like, this kind of level of sweetness drinks in Japan.
Yeah.
But it's not.
That's true. There are a lot of tea-based drinks here in Japan, but they don't have cool packaging like this.
Yeah.
Like, this makes me feel like
You're a cool
I'm
guy.
a cool guy. Yeah. This is like...
Oh, like a hardcore man.
Yeah. I'm a real tough guy.
Yeah, you don't want to, like, package with, you know, flowers and fancy.
No, I
stuff.
want something... It sounds like this is going to kill me. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I want to live on the edge, but I don't want to live on the edge. That's the beauty of this. It makes you feel like you're doing something dangerous.
Yeah.
It looks like you're drinking a craft beer or something.
Or, like, something very extreme.
Yeah.
To be fair.
But no, it's just beautiful tea. Mm-hmm. Nick Sparks writes, dope G-Shock. Has Naked and Famous done a watch before? It's not a G-Shock. It's a Timex 8-lap. Timex Indigo. Timex Ironman Indiglo 8-lap. It's an old model. But thank you. I like it. Have we done a watch before? We haven't. I would, at some point, like to do a watch. I think that'd be kind of cool.
That would be crazy.
Yeah. It'd be cool.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see. Maybe
that
one day
might
it'll
be fun
happen.
to think about.
Yeah. James and Keating, I've never seen liquid death tea in America, only flat or sparkling water. All right. Well, maybe this is new. I was at the Target and they had it and I had to buy it.
Yeah, I thought that it was a carbonated drinks.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
BD writes, "You're cool, Bayzad. We confirm it." You know what? You're cool. You guys are the cool ones. Okay. Naked and Famous G-Shock would be insane. I think it'd be kind of cool to do a Naked and Famous G-Shock.
That would be fun. Yeah.
Selvedge denim watch bands at the very least.
Yeah.
Milo 17. No previews. We did the Sea Island.
We did the herringbone.
And the herringbone. So we had a couple previews.
Sorry.
Not a huge preview packed event, but I think we had a good time overall. I think I'm being my own judge. I think we had a great time.
We covered a lot of topics.
Yeah. Okay. Well, last question. Chris Karras writes, any new mugs recently? Personally, no.
We haven't gone shopping, but we have
the milk glass Naked and Famous denim mugs. We just got a restock at Tate Yoko.
It might be a minute before we can release them.
Yeah, we have
by
to.
Minute, maybe a few days, few weeks, couple weeks, but
they have arrived in the warehouse, so we're just processing that right now. We got this one.
Well, this one we have.
Oh, this one
currently.
we have.
We have the restock of the...
Reese is going to do it.
No, we don't have it. It might be in the dishwasher.
Okay.
But, so it's the Jadeite.
Let me find the new one.
jadeite green with the shirt logo, like a retro drawing logo of the Tragic Blonde in navy. So that one's going to be restocked. It sold out really quickly last time we made it. So we are restocking it. And we're adding another colorway to that design.
Yeah.
So that one's based on white
Yeah.
glass with the blue print.
Yeah. So this is the brand new one that we'll have this in jade with the blueprint. And so, yeah, more mugs back, and you'll be able to get one. Heavy duty, heavyweight, Japanese made milk glass mugs. Mm-hmm. Restock soon.
Stackable.
Yeah.
So if you already have one or two, you can stack on top.
Stack them up high. Okay, everybody, it's been great. Melody Murray, I love Liquid Death. All right, well, we're big fans here as well.
You gotta try other flavors.
Yeah, if you're watching, good people at Liquid Death, and you'd like to sponsor this live stream,
Oh, that would be great.
that'd be great.
Send
It'd be
us
really
a
great.
carton
But,
of-
but I'll do it for free because I like your product. BD, our Naked Famous mugs are our daily mugs.
Great.
Me too.
Yeah.
We use it. The thing is, because we have a lot of mugs, we use so many mugs in
Yeah,
our life.
but these are bigger
Yeah, they're
than
bigger.
like our typical
The Fire King mugs
so-
are a little small.
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay, everybody, we're gonna leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us. We greatly appreciate it. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We'll be back again next week, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Naked Famous Denim channel for our live stream. Tune in to This Week at Tate Yoko with Garrett and Terry and the Tate Yoko crew. If you haven't watched the latest episode, it is up now.
There's two episodes
There's two episodes
so,
already.
yeah.
That's going to be every Wednesday. You're going to be able to check that out. And we'll have the new video going over all the details of the Herringbone Selvedge coming out this Monday on the YouTube channel. Of course, everything is on the YouTube channel. And that'll be followed up with the release of the Herringbone Denim on Friday, August 25th. You're going to be able to get your chance to get those. So, with all that said, have a great weekend, everybody. Have a great night. MC Dizzle, hope Risa gets over her cough. And cold
Yeah, sorry
ASAP.
about that.
Yeah.
I know I'm very gross, but
little-
I'm just the end of it. So.
It's just the end of it. We'll see you guys really soon. Very nice to see you. And we'll have a great hangout next week. Do something nice for yourself and for somebody else. All right. Bye, everyone.
Have a nice weekend.